And now interest from a national retailer could be the spark needed to get construction going again. 2 on your side's Leanne Stuck has all the details, new at 11.
The project to convert the former Northtown Plaza into Station 12 has been halted for nearly a year. Now we're learning interest from a large retailer could kickstart construction. WS Development broke ground on the retail restaurant space in November of 2019, but since March, it's looked like this. That's because the project was put in a holding pattern due to the pandemic.
Many of the retailers that were working out lease agreements started to pause and caused construction, for the most part, to pause on that site.
And now, nearly a year later, interest from what's being described as a large retail tenant is bringing new attention to the project.
We've been sort of briefed that they were, WS was in final negotiations with a large national retailer. With a big online presence.
This undisclosed retailer would be phase 3 of the project. Phase 1 was the Whole Foods built in 2017, and phase 2 is creating that lifestyle retail restaurant space.
Their expectations would be that if those negotiations worked out well within the rest of this month, that they would be up in the ground and trying to run in construction again this spring.
A lot of these big retailers are publicly traded companies, so it takes a little while, and they set a course of how many stores they want to open in a year. And it's encouraging to hear that Western New York is one of those places where they want to develop and they want to grow their business.
And I did reach out to WS Development for a better timetable about when construction could begin or who that tenant is. I have not heard back. In Amherst, Leanne Stuck, Channel 2 News.